Welcome to the Mystic Fool. I'm Martin Worth, and this is the Mystic Fool. It's been a little while since I put up a podcast. It seems to have been a little bit sporadic lately, and I'm sure that's doing nothing to help my podcast get out there with the algorithm and all that kind of stuff. But I know that some of you have been saying, hey, what's the Mystic Fool up to? So I guess, I'm going to get back on rail here and start to run some episodes out. What's been happening with the Mystic Fool? Well, in the last 2 weeks, I've been in 6 different locations, and it got to the point where I would wake up at night and didn't quite walk into the wall thinking I was going the right way to the bathroom, but had to really reorientate myself as to where I was. My wife and I, we've had a wonderful time travelling around. It's just been a series of things that have happened. Going out to my wilderness block, coming back into Brisbane, going to the Gold Coast, coming back to Woodford, going up to Montville for our wedding anniversary, and then zipping all the way down to Numinbah Valley for a men's retreat on the weekend. And wow, it hasn't been a whole lot of time where I've had the opportunity to sit down and had the space to put together a Mystic Fool episode. So this one is the refresher. It's a Mystic Fool coming back from having a little bit of a Mystic Fool's holiday. There's been some great things happening though. One of the biggest things that's been happening for the Mystic Fool, for me, is really stepping deeply into presence. Stepping deeply into spirit. I've been speaking in my weekly meditations on a Wednesday night. I've been speaking about, how to get into presence, how to connect with spirit, and it's really seriously all really come together over the last maybe 3 or 4 months. And some techniques for helping people to get into presence that I've been practicing and thinking, these are the go. Looking at what the steps were that I myself went through when I first started to connect with spirit, to put my ego aside, to disconnect from the ups and downs of life, and to get to a place in my heart where I feel settled. And it's not 100% of the time, but thank you, Spirit, I'm getting more and more able to stay present and catch myself. And even the other day, as I was blaming some inanimate object for not doing what it was supposed to do, I caught myself being in ego, being dumb, and just laughed. And I thought, wow, that is the first time that I've managed to laugh at myself for being a dick. It was a nice moment. May there be many more. Because it's not whether you get triggered, because you will. It's how long you stay triggered for. I was saying to a friend of mine the other day when we were doing a mentorship session together, I was saying to him, it doesn't matter. You're going to get triggered. It's life. Something's going to happen that's going to annoy you. Something's going to happen that didn't happen right. And it can be the stupidest thing, like trying to put a spoon in a cutlery drawer and it goes into the fork side instead of the spoon side. Anything. We're human, for goodness sake. And we're not supposed to be these gurus sitting in a cave levitating off the ground wearing saffron robes. You know, we're here in this life, in this time, in this wonderful time of spiritual knowledge becoming available to us. Yeah. We're here in this time to learn how to integrate our spirituality, our spiritual consciousness, our presence, our awareness of spirit, how to integrate that into daily life. You know, it occurs to me that even old JC, Jesus Christ, he got triggered. If you have a look in the Bible about when he got the shits with the money lenders in the temple and chased them all out, beat them up and threw all the tables out after him. I don't think he was in presence when he did that. He might have been right in throwing the money lenders out of the temple, because it's not really a place where you should have money lenders, hey? But yeah, I bet he had his dander up, that's for sure. And that might have been a moment of, oh my God, I'm supposed to be the I am presence for the world and I've just lost my shit. So don't beat yourself up. Do not beat yourself up for losing it. Do not go into some slumber of self-doubt and criticism. When you mess up, you mess up. If you've involved other people and blame them, then apologize. Fess up to your crap. You'll find that embarrassing moment that you're trying to avoid because you don't really want to fess up, and you're thinking, oh no, I can't admit to that, I can't apologize for that because the other person or this, that or the other. Just do it. Apologize. Apologize to the person, apologize to yourself, apologize to spirit. Get back into presence. You know, our biggest battle is the ego. And by ego, I mean all of those thoughts that you have that prevent you from being the best you can be. We talk about people being egotistic, and you know that's mainly because an egotistical person, the use of the common use of that term, an egotistical person is someone who is so full of themselves that all they talk about is themselves. They're not listening to anybody else. They're just this constant verbal stream of I am this, I am so great. And you know, realistically, they're not listening, they're not pausing, they're not stopping. So ego doesn't have to manifest as that egotistical trait that some people have. That is ego on steroids, and we all know someone like that. Ego is, in its most essential form, ego is who you are. All the collected thoughts, beliefs, assumptions, negative thought patterns, conditioned thought patterns, all of those things that stop you from being the best you can be. That's the ego. And the ego has a purpose. The ego is reference to past experience. You know, this is what worked, so I'm going to keep doing it. When I got into a situation like this, I got hurt, so I'm going to avoid a situation like that. And how I avoid it? Maybe that's by being egotistical. Maybe I avoid it by steering away, becoming small and quiet. It's all ego. It doesn't have to be that person who won't shut up talking about themselves. There can be an extremely egotistical person who is the quietest mouse in the room while they sit there judging everybody else because they're successful and he's not. So he sits there quietly stewing, casting psychic projections at everyone else who's succeeding in things that they wish that they could. Yeah, you get it. But this podcast is not about ego. This podcast is about presence, being in presence. And I was really blessed to attend a live Zoom session with Eckhart Tolle. I think I pronounced that right. With Eckhart Tolle yesterday. It was just a small group of people. There was like 8 people, and there was Eckhart Tolle and the sound engineer person and the person who was running the Zoom. And the purpose of this was because Eckhart's putting together a course on practicing presence, and they wanted to run a little bit of promotional video for it. And I'm considering putting some of that on the podcast. I might even put it on this episode, but I'm feeling I really need to ask for permission before I put it out there, because it's Eckhart speaking, and I just need permission from the people that put that seminar on to publish it, I guess. We'll see. But if I don't get permission to do that, I'll certainly speak to it in the next series of episodes with the Mystic Fool, because, as Eckhart said, the most important thing for humanity at this point in time is to come into presence, is to step aside from the egoic belief systems and come into our center, to come into spirit, I would call it. Eckhart calls it presence, stillness. You've heard me speak about the ocean that gives rise to the waves. Well, I was really interested to hear Eckhart use pretty much exactly the same phrase in his teaching yesterday. And I thought, yeah, I probably got that phrase from someone who got it from someone who got it from Eckhart in the first place. But there again, I do feel that I really resonate with what he said. Becoming the ocean that gives rise to the waves, not be tossed around within the waves. Come into presence and be still. There's a bunch of meditations on that on my YouTube channel, which you'll easily find. It's just Martin Worth YouTube channel. So don't look for the Mystic Fool YouTube channel, because the Mystic Fool doesn't have one. Maybe I should create one for the Mystic Fool. But Martin Worth, you'll find videos on presence, the meditation videos that I do on a Wednesday night when they're appropriate. I put those up on the YouTube channel. There's lots of good stuff there. So yeah, glad to be back. And I'm going to try posting an episode at least once a week between now and whenever, because I love the Mystic Fool. Be well. Take a moment to breathe. Take a moment to follow the inflow of your breath all the way down into your belly. And follow that breath all the way out. And come into presence. Thank you. Love you. Be well. See ya.